Hello traders, let's look at what has been happening in Forex pairs. So we'll start with DXY. A lot of you have been asking me, sending me messages asking for an update. So DXY, we were expecting it to fall from this FCP zone, and it did for a day or so, and then started to rise up into this FCP zone. Ultimately, remember, we are bullish on DXY. The dollar is going to rise further and further and further, right? There can be minor corrections, but right now, if you see what is doing it, it's probably going to create a double top sort of thing, and we have a W pattern here at the moment. So unless it actually goes beyond this FCP zone and then gives you a confirmation, you cannot look for a long position in DXY for now. What we have is the W pattern, and the price is right there in FCP zone. It's kind of double top, so it is expected to fall at any moment in time. So I'll be favoring my short positions more unless I see a confirmation to the upside. So that's what we have on DXY. So far, it has been working really good, and it has all these levels and FCP zones have been acting very nicely. So I'm not going to make any changes to it. This is what you have. These levels are still intact. Okay, let's move on to Euro USD. Now, Euro USD was supposed to let me actually go down the lower time frame because that will start to make more sense. Now, Euro USD was stuck between these levels and all that. Now, what it has done is it has actually broken through this particular level here, but I do not think that this is going to actually go all the way down as of yet. Why? Because if DXY starts to go down, then Euro USD is going to go up, and as you can see that we had this M pattern here, which pushed the price up. Now we have another M pattern which can push the price back up. So you need to be careful if you have any short positions on Euro USD. You need to be careful, right? You must wait for in a proper setup for this market to fall back down. Now, in terms of what the next level can be, now market has already come to this level here, and it started to show reaction there. So that is why also it is expected to move higher, and it has already moved to this level of 1.18442, and it can continue into this 1.866989, which we already identified a few weeks ago, and that is also confluencing with this previous structure support around here, resistance around here. So it can actually move in there, and that will coincide with DXY falling down. So you have to be careful on higher time frame. You see we have this W pattern forming. So if the momentum starts to gather like in a bullish momentum, then it can go all the way back into this FCP zone. So all of these levels are still intact, no changes required, they are still valid. Let's look at AUD USD. On AUD USD, the market came here and then started to rise up. So all of these levels were perfectly fine. Now, pretty much what we have on Euro USD, we also have this M pattern. Okay. Now, if I draw fib on this, what I will see that market has come to this level, and now it may go back to retest this 67647,462, or in extreme case it can come back into 0.76986 level as well. That's where with mid of the Bollinger Band is. Now if we have a bearish case, then we know that this is the next level where it can fall to. We already have that level identified. So all of these levels are perfectly fine, and they are still working. You need to keep an eye on DXY because that is going to change some of these markets very soon. Let's look at GBP USD. On GBP USD, the market has come into FCP zone quite accurately. It fell through it, and it came into FCP zone and started to show reaction. This FCP zone is very powerful. This is looking very good. So if you had taken this opportunity to go long, that's well done to you, and hopefully you have been short on this opportunity as well, because what happened, this was the last level left. Market fell through it, then retested it on lower time frame, and then started to fall back down. So right now you are in bullish mode, but remember, the market is turning bearish here in this particular leg. I'm looking at 4-hour time frame, so it may or may not reach all the way high, right? We'll have to wait for certain time. So right now this can actually come back into this level of 1.37988, and that is quite a possibility if it finds enough momentum. There is another thing that can happen, is that it can go deeper into this FCP zone. That is always a possibility. That's why we have a zone here, and it can play in that zone. It can spend some time in the zone before it starts to move higher. So you see, AUD USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, all of them are looking to go higher, and at the same time DXY is also looking to go lower. So that also works perfectly fine. It fits well. And if that is the case, then you'll have to look at DXY, keep an eye on it, and that should give you a good indication on other currency pairs. Let's look at USD CAD. Now, USD CAD also works beautifully here. So if I show you the daily time frame, the market came into the first FCP zone, then the next FCP zone was perfectly fine. The market started to rise up, and it has come to mid of this Bollinger Band right now. Okay, so this is how it is looking. It can fall back down into this FCP zone, but right now this is looking bullish. And if I draw fib on it, let me just quickly go to the daily time frame. And if I draw fib on it, what we see that the market may actually rise a little bit higher, so it can go. Now right now this is 61.8, right? So that means the market can actually move into this level also, 1.2 1.26600 level or so, right? But that all depends on how the bullish momentum actually gathers the strength. Right now this is struggling with bit of the Bollinger Band, and that can push the price down back into this FCP zone. But so far, if you have been long on this has been working really, really good for you. Okay, so this is what we had in terms of update. Hope you enjoyed this. If you found this useful, if you did, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and in the comments below, let me know what you think about this analysis, whether you liked it or not, and what is your opinion on these currency pairs. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.